Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode of the Square Circle Podcast. I am your host, Marie Shadows, and I am joined by the one, the only. He calls himself an urban mercenary. We're going to get into more of that later. I am here with Shotgun Adams. How are you doing, sir?
Well, first of all, I don't call myself that. They call me the urban mercenary.
Oh, so...
Let's get that one thing clear. That's my
Got it.
profession. I get paid to murk motherfuckers in the ring. Or in the streets. Whichever.
Which I like the sound of that. You know, if I ever need some backup, I definitely have you. I could probably call you on speed dial, right?
Yeah, as long as the money's right. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Do you want to tell us how much money it is?
I don't want to incriminate myself. Let's talk in private about that shit. Y'all know how to reach me. I'm not that hard to find.
No, you're definitely not that hard to find, which is a very good thing. Usually we start off with wrestling. This time around, I just wanted to have some fun and, talk about, your favorite either like anime shows or like comics and stuff like that. Let's start with comics. I guess we would. DC or Marvel?
Ultimately, I would have to go with DC.
DC. Is there any character particularly in DC that you sort of modeled your career and your character after?
Not really.
Oh, not really?
Nah. Like, a lot of people expect Batman, but like, I don't got billions yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't inherit shit from nobody. So, And I feel like if I had chosen Marvel, people were like, "Oh, he's the Punisher." I'm like, nah, because certain groups ruined that for me, you know.
Well, I was gonna mention that it could be the Punisher. Like, I got that vibe from you. You go around and someone hires you, so yeah, Punisher would be like my thing. If you could form your own squad, right? Who would you have on your team?
I don't like the idea of squads, bro. Like, I do my shit dolo.
That is true, because every time they put you in like a scramble, basically you're like, why am I here? Like, I don't want to be in the scramble.
Like, I mean, don't get it wrong. Anybody can get these hands. Don't get that twisted for even a second. I don't care if it's 1 guy, 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys, 5 guys, 10, 20, 50. I don't care. Anybody can get aired out here. My issue is when everybody expects me to be a team player. I ain't decided to be in the mercenary business because I wanted to be like playing nice with people.
That is true, because sometimes, different types of personalities like conflict, and they're all like, all these egos and stuff like that. So did you have to deal with anyone else's ego, like in your career?
Where do I even begin? I got stories for days. In and out of that ring.
What happened?
In and out of that ring, I got stories for days. But like, I don't know. I'm not the type of person to go on like this huge rant about the past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is true. I mean, you definitely murked them. So, what's the point of bringing them up? But if since you are this mercenary, how come Deadpool is not one of your inspirations?
I mean, I fucks with Deadpool, but it's just like, that's another thing people kind of ruined for me. Because now everybody wants to be Deadpool or whatever. There was a time everybody had the like Deadpool shirts or whatever. And everybody was trying to be like edgy for the hell of it. And I'm just like, stop. It's cringy. Stop. There's a reason that Ryan Reynolds is making millions of dollars playing him. You're not.
I feel like you're talking about me because Deadpool is one of my favorites along with Thor. So,
hey, no, I ain't got no problem if you're a fan of Deadpool, if you fuck with Deadpool, if you're wearing Deadpool merchandise or whatever. It's like when everybody tries to be Deadpool. That's
you mean cosplay? What do you mean?
No, like act like Deadpool.
Oh, act like Deadpool? Okay, yeah. Then I'll just be like, yeah, you're being a little cringe right there. If somebody were to cosplay as Deadpool in wrestling, would you take them out?
It depends on if they're in my face or not. I probably end up smacking the shit out of them, for being honest.
They probably would go after you, though. I see you as the biggest dog in the yard, and they're probably going to go after you with that.
Better men than have tried.
So I saw as I took a look at your career and all your promos and stuff like that. So yeah, they tried. Obviously, they failed in that regard. But nobody from the DC universe gave you the inspiration to just have this character.
Well, no, because the thing of it is, and I don't want to get mad inside the acting studio or whatever. But there was a time when I was trying to figure, because everybody's that's the big thing in this line of work. You gotta have a gimmick that everybody can latch onto. Maybe you can sell T-shirts or whatever. You gotta have a character. And I'm not disparaging that. Whatever you gotta do to get your bread. Different flavors of ice cream, whatever. But I never knew how to be any of that. So one day I'm just I don't know, why don't I just be me?
Which I really do enjoy. It really comes out. It really stands out from everyone else. So I, enjoy that. So while we're on the topic of being you, when was your first ever wrestling memory?
Let's see. Wrestling memory. The first thing I can ever remember consciously was Judgment Day 2004, Eddie Guerrero versus Bradshaw on that bloodbath. And since then, Eddie Guerrero's been my all-time favorite wrestler. I made no secret of that shit.
And was this the match that got you into wrestling, or was it something different?
I mean, I'd been a casual fan up to that point. I played the games, I watched the Attitude Era. If you grew up in the '90s, that shit was an escape. Everywhere you turn, people were either telling you to suck it or giving you the. You know what? I'm not even gonna say giving you the finger, because it was the '90s in the hood. Even now, people still give you the finger.
Yeah,
it's New York, for fuck's sake. But they would also ask what your name was, and then immediately hit you with that. It didn't matter what your name was. That used to be a big thing. But Guerrero and Bradshaw is what got me hooked, and especially Eddie Guerrero. I started watching SmackDown every week just to watch him, and since then I've been hooked.
Which is great to hear. So then, yeah, that was your first wrestling memory. What about your first wrestling show?
That I attended as a fan, or that I worked?
Either or. It's your story right now. You can answer however you want.
So the first live show I've ever attended as a fan was when I was 17, and I went to the New Japan Invasion Tour in 2011 when they were doing that shit with Jersey All Pro.
Yeah. Okay.
I went to the one at night 2 in Basketball City.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I met so many this shit is crazy to me now that I met the people that would become the biggest stars in the industry. Fucking Kenny Omega was there.
Yeah.
The Anderson and at the time it was Giant Bernard. They were the IWGP Tag Champions.
Yeah.
I met Nakamura, Tanahashi, Liger, Rhino. Rhino and Liger, Rhino and Liger. You know what I'm saying? But
pretty much.
10 years later, I ended up sharing a locker room with Rhino, so that was.
That's cool.
That was a nice little time.
Yeah. That's definitely cool, especially to either share locker rooms or be in the same vicinity as veterans are super cool. That's awesome. And And then the first ever show that you worked.
It had to have been like 2013 when I did back when I was training at Gleason's gym, and they put me in a battle royal. And at the time, I couldn't afford shit. I could not afford gear, so I came out in like fucking $10 Model shorts and like $40 boxing boots from Title.
Oh my god! Well, I mean, you had to make it work. It worked then.
I mean, the struggle was real.
Yeah, man.
I'm not hiding shit from nobody. I've had a strange fucking journey.
Yeah. I remember your journey a little bit, and you might have to like correct me on some things because, like, I know your name. I know Shotgun Adams. Like, it has circulated. There's other people that I know that like talked about you. So you're gonna have to like correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you have worked for BWF, right?
Uh, I knew this subject would come up sooner. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure. We don't have to
I
get
did.
into it. I just want to make sure.
I did for about 2 years. Yes.
Okay, so I know I'm not crazy because I was like, I know this guy's name, and then all of a sudden you like disappeared from there, and then now you're popping back up, and you're working with, or I should say, like you're working with different companies, and you're also training at T2T, right, which is Technique to
Right.
Training.
Yeah, that is right. I'm everywhere. I've been training at T2T for the past 2 years, and it's been fucking great. You know, I got to rebuild myself from the ground up, which I desperately needed to.
Yeah,
Because by summer of 2020, I was very close to being like, "Well, fuck listen."
and that's just because of like the pandemic and everything, right?
I mean, a lot happened during that pandemic, like, and I'm not gonna get into it because of a lot of it is like drama that's like between me and a couple of people, and I'm not in the business of like airing that shit out.
Of
The
course.
people that the people that know, and the
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that don't, it is what it is. But
Yes.
eventually, it was Logan Black that texted me about T2T when they come through, and I owe him a lot for that.
Yeah. So I guess we could talk about T2T and Logan Black and stuff. I do know that when I was looking at the website, there was like some former trainers there, and I saw like Brother Greatness was training there and stuff like that. So provide us with a little bit of background for T2T. Sorry.
All right, so T2T started like around 2020 ish,
Uh huh.
and the idea was their mission statement was to train people in pro wrestling, but also help like change the culture of it. Because for a while, I mean, you saw how toxic indie wrestling can get. I don't need to
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah. Yeah.
you see it. I mean, it's still toxic to like now. Like I like to think that people are by being more professional and being more respectful, like we might be able to like undo some of the dumb shit that's happened over the past 100 years or whatever. And that's gonna
Yeah.
take time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's been the mission statement of T2T was to change the culture, and also to represent the people that normally wouldn't be represented in professional wrestling because of orientation or whether they have a certain gimmick or a certain look or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. So I know that they have training every Monday and Wednesday. What's like a typical training day over at T2T?
I mean, it's not much different from the usual wrestling school, but we do we train. We have our group of advanced students, and we have our group of beginners. The beginners, it's all rolls and starting off on bumps and all that shit. And for us, it's more like complicated timing drills, all that. Uh, their cardio is strongly encouraged. And I encourage that for anybody that's going to be a professional wrestler. Like, I'm not telling you you got to look like a fucking action figure. I'm
Hmm.
telling you that you absolutely need to fucking work out. Yeah, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's doing like push-ups and sit-ups and whatever else, you got to do something because this is a tough fucking industry, and
It
you have to be
is.
physically ready for it.
So what's your training like? Like, what do you do? So that way, someone out there could probably be inspired to like go to the gym.
So uh, I've been going to the gym for a number of years, but recently I started doing this training program that VSK and Stoke Athletics is doing. They're making full body workouts specifically for like active professional wrestlers, and it was something I needed to do both to fix up my aesthetics, but also to fucking fix up my mobility and everything. And it's worked. I do feel faster. I do feel more limber. I do feel like I can do shit that I couldn't do before.
And I'm guessing, do you incorporate like yoga into your workout as well?
I want to. It's one of those things that I keep fucking procrastinating on because I'm like, yo, I gotta do this because my body feels like shit. But it's just like, but like, it's one of those things where it's like I have to get on the routine. I have to kick my own ass,
Yeah,
which is how I got to the gym in the first place.
yeah. I mean, I was going to ask if you had any like motivational uh speech for anyone out there that like needs that kick in the ass.
So I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. The gym is or can be a humbling and very frightening and intimidating experience if you've never been into it or like you've been like scared to go or whatever. But just realize like everybody starts somewhere, and the gym is one of the only places in life where hard work really does pay off, and it is just a matter of consistency. Like uh, I don't give a fuck if you can only lift like 5 pound dumbbells or whatever. Like the idea is to sweat. The heavy shit and all the cool shit that you see on Instagram, that shit comes later. Don't be intimidated by it, and don't be intimidated by these dickheads that try to be like territorial about the gym. Fuck them. You pay the same fucking gym rate that they do. And at the end of the day, everybody's just trying to get to where they want to be. So like, don't let these motherfuckers like sweat you. Fuck them. Fuck them up against the wall.
So hopefully out there, if you're listening to this, whether it is audio, video, or the VOD on here on twitch.tv/Marie_shadows, I hope that like, kicks you in the ass. Cause I could tell you right now that I stopped my workouts and I haven't started them back up and I'm like, fuck. So, if it helps me, it's probably going to help anyone out there to get motivated and stuff. So that's amazing that you train at T2T. For some reason, my brain wants to say TQT. I don't know why, but in my notes, it's written correctly. That's great that you train there. Let's take a moment to talk about your promo work because I went through your IG just to see the videos, even though you've said before it's on your Twitter account. But um, what sort of inspirations do you draw from to do your promo work, if you
I
do?
just pull honestly like if we're talking about inspirations, I just say whatever's on my mind, whatever I feel like saying at the moment. Like I go in with a very basic outline and then I just fucking go.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
I can't like if I can pull inspiration from something, it's I think it's like I've heard it said a billion times that that the most prolific wrestlers, the most successful ones, or whatever the fuck, are the ones that like project an extension of themselves. It's you turned all the way up. So I'm just like I don't think in terms of what will my character do in this situation? I would think of, all right, what would I say about this shit?
Which
What
has
do
come
I,
across many times, yeah.
yeah, what do I want to say? Like, and honestly, that's honestly what I feel has gotten me over. I mean, the most gimmick thing about me is my name and the fact that I wear fucking camel pants to the ring.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm the same dude in and out. Like maybe in real life, if you see me at a bar and I've had a couple of drinks in me, I might be a little nicer with it. I don't know. But you know,
So then, how did you end up getting the shotgun name?
so this had to have been like in 2014 or whatever. I was at Gleason's, and a friend of mine, Johnny Broadway, because I was looking for something, and he was like, "Well, why don't you just call yourself Shotgun?" I
Mm.
was like, "That's kind of hard. I kind of fucks with that." And so Adams is actually like the anglicized version of my mother's maiden name, which is Adamus.
Oh,
And I anglicized it so that you motherfuckers can see it on fucking Google and not or you can't misspell it. And people have done it anyway. I have no idea how y'all managed to misspell Shotgun Adams, but that's what yo. People in Connecticut think my name is Adam, like
oh.
legitimately.
I mean, it's Connecticut. Like, what do you want? Like, I had to go
Like
over there
how
for work at one point.
like how the fuck did y'all Adams? For fuck's sake, like I don't.
I don't
Did
know
I, did
either,
I,
man.
am I Shotgun Adam?
That
Is,
doesn't
it,
sound right.
is there a fucking apostrophe next to my? No, man,
Is there an
get it right.
apostrophe? I
Act
love
like you
that.
know, host. Shit.
Which, by the way, I really do like that. Are we calling that? Are we calling? Well, are you calling that? Not we. Are you calling that catchphrase? So I can say this right.
I mean, if you want to call it that, sure. Like I honestly like I got act like you know, hoes from hip hop because that's what I grew up
Okay.
on.
Okay. See, I was gonna ask you that, like, where you got it from. You you answered it already for me. So like, favorite hip hop artist then?
Uh, right now, probably Kendrick.
Probably Kendrick. Cool. Um, yeah, I stick with like a few people. Um,
Like
not
I would say of all time would have been Eminem, but like if you go back to like listening to his albums, I'm just like, oh man, none of this shit would fly today.
no, it wouldn't.
Not that it was flying back then. Like he was still getting protested and whatever. But like now, when I listen to it, I'm just like, this is kind of like shock rap for the sake of it.
I
But
guess.
like when
I
he
mean,
dropped the shock routine and just raps as him, like it's fucking phenomenal. Lose Yourself is one of the best songs ever written. That and Stan.
yeah. Different times, different eras, and we all grow up and like think differently. So like our minds just sort of like grow up. So when we listen to stuff back then, we're like, why do we like this, or how do we like this? It's the same thing in like wrestling, where you're like, oh, this is cool, and then all of a sudden it's like, why did I like that back then? All that kind of stuff. All right, so hip hop artists. Yeah. So the only reason why I asked you if it was a catchphrase, because I was going to say that I really do like that you say, act like because everything just comes together in a perfect freaking package. For when someone talks about like Shotgun Adams and stuff like that. As far as people misspelling your name, I don't understand. I was going to say people call me Maria, and I'm like, I don't want to be addressed like my mom's name because that's her name. So I'm like, no, it's Marie. Like, stop that. So let's
Got
talk
an E at
about
the end. Like I don't know how the fuck y'all missed that. Like,
it does, right? And sometimes even when people speak up, like it's Marie, guys, Marie. But I love them either way. So let's talk about the promotions that like you work for. I saw that you were working with Invictus Pro Wrestling during that one night stand of Takeover versus STB. You were pissed off about being in a 6-man, on the pre-show. And then like you walked away at one point, and like there was fans chanting that you suck. So what do you tell those fans?
Fuck y'all, this ain't about you.
I just
I have my
love it.
fucking reasons for being pissed off about that night. Oh, like I'm glad everybody's getting their shine, and I'm glad everybody's getting a payday. But I didn't come here to be playing second fiddle to nobody. Fucking, then everybody wanted to be like, oh, yeah, we got you on the show. Impress me. I don't need you to impress you. I'm not here to impress nobody. I'm here to crack heads and stack bread, bro. That's what I'm about.
And
And if you want to talk that hot shit to my face, we can put the Twitter fingers to bed.
pretty much. So I guess we could sort of like petition, maybe you versus PJ Savage or like you versus Bougie or something, payback, right? Because that's the whole point of everything, to try to
They
get
want
payback.
it. They want it. If they
Well,
want it, they want it. I don't duck nobody. I don't give a fuck if you call yourself a savage. I don't give a fuck if you trying to make Crocs cool. Spoiler alert, they're not.
so anybody could come to you with a challenge, and you'll be like, "Let's go."
If the money's right, well, let's go. I'm not here to bitch out on nobody. Anybody can get the smoke. I don't care if you've been here 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 1 year. I don't care. You want the smoke, and the money's right. I'll crack your head all the same.
And with that, everyone should be lining up and giving you challenges after they see this interview, because he's throwing it out there for you guys. You just gotta. It's like a DM away or like a promotion away. Um, you know. Uh,
I will say this, like
oh, go ahead.
I, I will say this because everybody. I don't like to deal in like social media drama or whatever, but like everybody treats this as a clout game. Like everybody's talking about relevance and numbers. Uh, without putting too fine a point on it, look at my numbers. That's all I'm saying. Because as far as I can tell, I'm the only one that was getting attention from people outside of the wrestling bubble.
And when you say outside the wrestling bubble, are you meaning like different forms of media and entertainment?
Yeah, like when I dropped that, I don't even want to call it a promo in December, right? Like
Okay.
because that was just me spilling my guts out in front of the world. And to this day, I'm not sure like whether I did the right thing or not, but I can't deny that one, uh, it sparked, it like lit a fire on Twitter. Like everybody was talking about it, and then everybody was trying to like chase that wave. Uh, on one end, I find it flattering,
Uh
and
huh.
on the other, I'm just like, y'all can keep trying to chase the sauce if y'all want to. I'm not making this easy for y'all because I can come through off the dome anytime I want, anytime I want. You ain't ready for it.
I don't think anyone is. If they really like pay attention, because sometimes a lot of
But
people just run their mouth.
no, I mean, yeah. But I was the one getting retweets from people from like Complex and whatever.
Okay, then yeah, people better like either not step up to you or like put some respect on your name. After all
I
that,
mean, they can try. They can try to step up. I'm again. I cannot stress this enough. I'm not ducking nobody. But put the money up. Put the money where your mouth is.
is there a specific promotion that you want to work with in the future?
I mean, I keep stressing it. Like if the money's right, but I do have certain standards. I do have certain standards. There are certain places you will not catch me at, and if I haven't shown up there yet, either like here's the thing. The only thing I'm going to say is if I am not there, either we haven't talked yet or we're not going to talk. And
Mm,
that's all I'm about to say about that.
cool. So, is there a favorite place that you travel to that you want to go to again?
I went to Texas like going on 6 years ago now,
Uh huh.
and I would love to go back there because I feel like Texas is going to be like the hotbed for the business for the next 5 years or so. But I would also like I've never been to California before, and I would love to go there. I would love to just travel the whole country, maybe travel the world really. That's really what I always wanted out of wrestling was to do what I love, which is kicking the shit out of people for money and see the world.
Did you? What stood out to you in Texas?
Uh, I mean the food.
Everything's
Uh,
bigger in
I'm I'm
Texas.
I'm not gonna hold you. My boy Tyree Taylor like took me to this fucking barbecue spot where the chicken was so tender it was falling off the bone, and I'm just like,
Oh man.
oh, oh, this shit is valid. I
I,
also tried Whataburger and Jack in the Box, and they're all
uh-huh.
right. They're all right.
Yeah, there's always like a food war thing about like the top like fast food chain restaurants and stuff like that. Do you have a favorite fast food chain restaurant?
Honestly, I was gonna say Five Guys because I love a good burger and they give you all the fries in the world.
Uh huh.
But like Chipotle has saved my ass like a billion times over. So I'm gonna have to go with Old Faithful on this one. Chipotle all the way.
Chipotle all the way. Mine would be McDonald's all the way. That's like my comfort food, just because there's just something about it. Um,
I mean, if we're talking comfort food, then like Five Guys or like
oh,
Shake Shack or whatever the fuck. But like if we're talking like something that I eat anytime I want to get my
okay,
macros in, Chipotle. Chipotle. It's the fucking bodybuilder's mecca.
okay. So what do you usually order at Chipotle?
Either I get a burrito bowl with like double meat, chicken and steak. You
So
gotta get the protein.
a double meat of chicken and steak in that.
Like
That's
one full serving of chicken and one full serving of steak.
okay. Wow, that is like a lot of food. Yeah.
Not
Um,
not not enough, to be honest with you.
well, I mean, if you're working out, I guess it's not enough, but but that's very interesting though. Whoever's watching out there, if you want to get that for your workouts, that'll be awesome. We talked about Texas. You want to travel, around the world and stuff like that. Um, do you ever want to? Uh, I don't know why my brain wanted to bring up like, do you ever want to have like a team with you? You're like, no, I'm a one person guy. I know that you basically have the mercenary thing because people gave it to you. I guess we could talk about that. So somebody was just like, hey, I want to hire you. Come be a mercenary for me. Is that the story?
So so it was more the story is when I had COVID, right?
Okay.
And I was spending time in a hotel room, like quarantine.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about like how this shit is gonna affect me long term. And again, this was me trying to like rebuild myself from the ground up because like I was relatively fresh out of my days out of the BWF, and I was just tired of everything really. I was tired of like being jerked around. I was tired of not being where I wanted to be. I was tired of pretending to be something I'm not. So I'm just like, what do I want out of this? What do I
Mm-hmm.
really want? And the answer to that is simple. Like I want to be me, and I want to make my money being me. And I don't give a fuck how I do it. So
Okay.
so be a mercenary is a soldier of fortune. So
Yes.
like they we don't talk about like having morals or whatever. All we care about is the coin. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, I'm just like, uh, at the end of the day, I'm just a punk kid from the hood that nobody ever gave nothing, and like nobody gave a chance to. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'm gonna take my own chances. I'm gonna take my own opportunities. I'm gonna make my money, and I don't give a fuck if I got to do it dolo the rest of my life. I'll do it.
And that has definitely served you well. And you're going around working for different types of wrestling promotions. Did you ever think of creating your own money, to have your face on your own money, just to give it to the people that you defeated?
Nah, fuck them. Once you get cracked, like that's it. I'm done with you. We not doing nothing no more. All this is business to me.
So you don't like rematches?
I mean, again, if the money is right, I will do it. But I'm not here like unless you piss me off. I'm not wasting my time with fake money. I'm just gonna take you out. Period.
So, what is your best feud that you had in your career?
I mean, I wouldn't say I had a feud yet because nobody really wants beef with me like that. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like my the the most I've liked was me and Mr. Grimm, like
Uh-huh.
the smoke we gave each other. And like, I mean, I even last year, me and Logan Black like beat the shit out of each other in this underground nightclub somewhere, and that's up on IWTV for the record.
You guys had a wrestling match in an underground nightclub.
A wrestling
That
match is a generous term for it. We fucked each other up.
that is probably like the coolest thing that I've heard.
Yeah,
That was probably so
look
cool.
it up. IWW, Good Vibes and Dives. And while you're at it, if you want to watch that match with Mr. Grimm, that's on IWTV too. Wrestlers Lab, Scientific Tendencies.
Do you have any wrestling rituals, like before you go out to the ring to get
I,
hyped up?
I typically like to warm myself up, push ups, squats, whatever. And then what I like to do is I want to put on my headphones, listen to whatever music that I want to, and just get into that frame of mind where I'm just the angriest motherfucker on earth. And it usually comes back to like Pink Floyd or
That's
Wu Tang.
those are hype music. That could be there for that. And then you just go out to the curtain and you destroy people, and you come back and you're just like, "Where's my money?" Which is a good thing to be
Big
asking
facts.
people to ask people like, "Where's my money?" Um,
Shit ain't free.
it is not, like, people don't understand that, especially like the work that I put out. Like, that's not free, and like it's like, guys, come on, help me out here or whatever.
You think
Uh,
I travel all these goddamn miles just for a hot dog and a handshake? Fuck out of here.
right? I totally
Get
understand
this.
that. I totally understand that. And next weekend for me is my first coverage of Goddesses of War. So, like, I might end up getting a hot dog and a handshake there just to be funny on that note. Um, but yeah, in the wrestling business, there's many championship titles. In like a ranking of like 1 through 5, doesn't have to be in any particular order. What are your favorite championship titles from anywhere?
Well, top of the list is probably the Pan African World Diaspora Championship. Like one day, one fucking day. Uh, let's see. Another one would probably be the Pro Wrestling Magic Championship. Again, one day, Darius. One fucking day. I'm not hiding shit.
Hmm.
But I also think the Wrestlers Lab Championship looks pretty damn nice. So, take that however you want to. You. Let's see. What else? I mean, so many out there.
Well, you got two more because
Two more.
it's like 1 through 5. I'm not gonna say a top 5, but it's.
I would not say that I am into like clout and like social. Let's keep it a stack. If it wasn't for pro wrestling, I would not have social media at all.
Mm-hmm.
I would be like completely off the fucking grid. But I will take that social media championship from Invictus whenever I want to. That's all I'm saying. And finally, maybe down the line, I don't know. Like it's a big world out there. You know, I want to keep my options open for the for the fifth one, because it could be because I could pop up anywhere, anytime, and take whatever I want.
Okay. That'll be a first. I'll keep it that way. We'll come back to this like 2 years from now and be like, yo, what's number 5? And then like you might show me number 5 on stream and be like, this is my championship title, wherever it's gonna be.
I might have all 5. You don't know.
Oh man, if you do, you better like show me all of them on stream. Better. You better, or like send me a picture so I could be like, yay.
You could say I'm collecting that bitch like the Infinity Stones or whatever.
Yeah, man. I'll definitely hype that up. Be like, yeah, Shotgun Adams is like the real Thanos, like collecting all the belts, so beware. So
again, I'm not trying to cosplay as nothing. This is just me, but like
I know. I know you aren't. I'm just saying. We could always type it up. How like Twitter loves putting labels about almost everything. So it makes sense from a marketing point if you want to do that. Which I do marketing anyway. That's neither here nor there. So if you can tell your younger self 3 do's and 3 don'ts, what would that be?
All right. Hit the gym consistently. Keep it pushing. And what's the last do? And take chances, because you never know what might happen.
And then 2 don'ts, if you have any.
Don't get bogged down by loyalty where it's not necessary or not like earned. And don't do drugs.
I love it, man. That's definitely a lot of good things there. So we are coming to the end of this interview. As always, before I end, I always allow my guests to put them. Oh, oops, wrong thing. That wasn't for me. Listen. I'm still learning technology. Okay. Earlier we had like a whole freaking mess of like it wasn't working and stuff.
Here's your Web3 for you, Gabe.
Yeah, right. We're definitely gonna be in his next space and be like, "Yo, I think we experienced this." But it's supposed to show you. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so go ahead and put yourself over. You have the spotlight.
All right, but so if you want to support your man's, follow whatever it is I'm doing. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shotgun Adams. It's one word. It's easy as fuck to spell. There's no underscore. It's Shotgun Adams. If you want to support me monetarily, it's very appreciated. You can find me on brainbustertees.com. I just released a whole bunch of new merch there. You can get yourself some shirts, hoodies, tanks. Maybe you want to snapback. Maybe you want a flex fit, because I heard that's the hot shit on the streets now. And we might be dropping more merch down the line. So keep a lookout. And again, for that, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, uh, especially on Twitter. That's where I'm the most active. Uh, I would also recommend that you watch me on IWTV because I'm not that hard to find on there. Like your man's is becoming a regular on that bitch. Uh, I would also like you can you. Oh yeah, one more thing, and I should have mentioned this sooner. If anybody from Pro Wrestling Magic is watching this shit, right? I love how y'all haven't like talked to me at all for like 2 or 3 months, even before your little summer vacay. So I hear you got a show on the 24th, and I'm just like, I don't know. Maybe I'll show up anyway. That's all I'm saying.
All right. I'll definitely, send her the memo that, you said that. Hopefully we could get you
That
guys
being
connected.
that being said,
Uh-huh.
you should all you never can tell when I'm coming. I'm a steal a line from somebody. The only thing for sure about Shotgun Adams is nothing's for sure. But I am around. Y'all better act like you know, hoes.
Definitely, man. So Shotgun, this was fun. I appreciate your time being here with me, answering my questions, and definitely telling the world that, act like they know because they should know who you are. And it's very easy to just say Shotgun Adams. Like, he's definitely, well, he's right here with me. You are definitely one to have a look out for. I really do appreciate all of your work and all of the hard work that you put into it. And I'm not just saying that to kiss your ass. I'm saying that because I took a look at everything and I'm like, yes, all the hard work is there. Again, not kissing your ass. With that being said, you can find me at Marie_Shadows over on Twitter, where I am active over there. Make sure to follow the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Marie_Shadows, where you can definitely watch this VOD. If you have not watched it yet, you could always go to marieshadows.substack.com. There is a special section for all of my interviews, including this one and the past ones. So sign up at marieshadows.substack.com. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.